Okay, you know what you're looking at? Well, you got a speed square, bunch of clamps, and my jolly. So this is my jolly cutting rig, right? And I wanted to show you. I don't know if it's going to be a success, but we're going to find out. Oh, and I found a new blade. Smitty, I found a new blade. I was running, I had awful blades. So, yeah, this was my choice. He let me borrow one. I think it was this one here, the yellow one. And I had, this one was on the saw. Anyway, I was looking through my stuff, and you never know what you're going to find until you start looking, right? So, Nicholson, I've had this thing, I don't know how many years. Cooper Tools. So, got a new blade in the hacksaw. And here it is. Bi-metalloy, right? Metalloy? That's a good word. Metalloy. Metal alloy? Met alloy? Something. Alright, so here's the plan. I put some tape on the jolly because sometimes, I don't know if it's going to help, but when you cut doors, like, you know, interior doors that are too long and you need to cut a ½ inch or an inch, there was a couple ways to do it. Obviously you're going to use clamps and maybe a nice level to give you a nice line, but sometimes if you didn't have that available, I used to like scribe a line across to break the grain of the wood, or you could tape it and cut through the tape, and that sometimes eliminates or helps reduce splintering. So anyway, I figured I'd try it on here. So I'm going to be cutting from this direction, right? And I can't show you on camera because I got to use, you know, I got to stay focused on what I'm doing. I decided to do the left-hand cut as we're looking at the tub, right? This is the left hand, and that's going to be the right hand. I decided to do the left-hand cut so I could use this as a guide to my measure, because I need to take into account that the left side jolly going up and down, the vertical jolly, is going to be away from the wall by about, I don't know, maybe 1/8, right? So that's going to move this corner over so the jolly going vertical can marry up to the jolly going horizontal. So this is pretty stable. I'm liking it. I got all my goodies out here. It took me forever to find my speed square. It seems like that's occupying a lot of my time now, is finding my tools, right? And I knew that it was in the bath remodel because I used it to make a video to show you how my spacers for the my two-piece crown. So I'm looking around, and no, I can't find it. So I came out here, and I'm looking, and no, I can't find it. So I go back in the bathroom and say, it's got to be in here because I know I used it. And sure enough, I found it, but it was leaning up against something, and it was behind something else. And anyway, lo and behold, yeah, excuse me, lo and behold, here it is. So this is really stable. I'm losing my voice. This is real stable. So we're going to give it a go. And when I cut it, remember, I'm going to cut it on a bias. Now this is going to be in my way, this little piece of my speed square, but it can't be helped. So I think when I start my cut, let me get my, hold on here. When I start the cut, it's going to be on a bias until I get down to where this piece of the speed square is, right? So I'm going to do just a little bit of a bias as we talked about, and I'll show you the result after. So let me pause here and I'll get you back here in a minute. Hold on. Okay, I figured I'd give you a during so the camera doesn't shut off. So right off the bat, I can tell you that the tape is useless. So I took it off where you can see. So you can see the cut, right? It's looking pretty decent. So let me keep going. Hold on. Okay, so I'm through a lot of the meat, and I could actually take some shears, some nips, whatever you want to call them, and cut through here. I want to remind you, if you're going to do this like I'm doing it, definitely wear safety glasses, because I got my safety glasses on because I got fans on, so it's blowing around all these little pieces of aluminum, and you don't want any of that stuff, you know, doing flying around, and you know, because Murphy's Law dictates that it's going to be, and I don't even want to jinx myself. So anyway, wear your protection, all right? Wear your eye protection and whatever. So let me unclamp this. Focus. Come on. Yeah, let me unclamp it and see what it looks like. So sit tight a sec. All right, so here's what it looks like. Not too impressive, I gotta say. I ran into a couple of bumps in the road. First one was this saw blade. The hacksaw itself is a little bit short. So the way I had my jig set up, this part of the blade of the hacksaw itself was getting in my way. So I couldn't get a nice run with just the blade. Another thing is, I'm not too happy with this blade. So that was another thing. Here's the opposite side, the cut side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can salvage this cut, if it'll focus. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can salvage this thing. So let me work on it, because yeah, there we go. Of course, my pencil mark is right here. That's probably going to stay there forever and a day. But yeah, let me work on this thing. And you see this little nib right here? When I file, I'm going to take my file and I'm going to go on the same bias as I tried to cut. Oops, I know, I'm all over the place with this thing. So let me get some work done. All right, let me give you a different view. You can see where I got a little whoop-de-doo. That's a hacksaw blade cut. And then I got some meat right here. Here's what it looks like on this side. And I know I'm getting really in the weeds here with my details, but I'm learning. As I get better at cutting these corners, of course, it'll be like a no-brainer. I'll just go, zip, you know, and it'll be done. But by that time, I'll be, you know, done with installing the jolly. So, anyway, I'm enjoying this. Let me tell you, here's the hacksaw, the file I'm using, which is a little bit coarse, and it's taken forever and a day to get through this meat right here. Right, it's taken forever to get through here. So I got my grinder right over there, and I'm going to take this over to the grinder, and I'm going to try to grind just this part here, and some of this. Right? I don't want to really touch the top, even though it's not the most perfect angle in the world. What I might do, see, that's why I started at the very end, right, as a test, so I can learn as I go. And that's what I'm doing. I'm learning as I'm going. I mean, I know the basics. I know what I want to get done. I know what it's to look like when it's in. You want to have a nice corner, like, you know, like a door jamb, or like a cabinet, or like a picture frame. You know, wherever there's two pieces of something going together forming a 90 degree, you want it to look like it's meant to be, right? So, tell you what, this is getting real long. I think I've explained what I'm trying to do really good, and you maybe get the idea. But I mean, if I don't like this edge, I can always just move it down, you know, half an inch and start over, because I got plenty to work with. All right, so I'm gonna leave you with this shot right here, okay? And we'll get you going when we have it figured out, and maybe when we're inside, trying to get ready for it to hang. All right, stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for watching, and there's going to be more to come.